Once Upon a Time podcast, Season 3, Episode 8, Think Lovely Thoughts.
I am.
Really, Dad?
Yep.
Right now? In this episode, Neil finally believes that Rumpelstiltskin has changed and wants to save Henry, while Pan's tridenti and nefarious plans for Henry are revealed. I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is
Martha Southgate.
And
Rob Southgate. Yep, I'm thinking lovely thoughts right now.
Right now, really?
So much happened in this episode. Holy cow. First and foremost, I would like to say I was right.
You nailed it.
I was right.
I did not ever see that coming, that he was that Peter Pan was his father.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're a super genius. You figure things out on TV shows.
I'm not so sure you're a super genius in this.
No.
He did figure that out.
I did guess that, though.
Still?
But that has nothing to do with being a super genius. That has to do
that
with
does not.
having 40 crazy hypotheses about it, and one of them was right. So, we got to see Rump as a kid.
Uh-huh.
I was not expecting that to be where we went. I thought we might see him, I thought we'd see him younger, but he was a kid here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And we got
He's like my age.
Yeah, and we got to see him with his dad, who this whole time we've been hearing for 3 seasons now, we've been hearing that his dad was a coward, and his dad ran away, and all that. We didn't
expect him that he became Peter Pan.
Yeah, and in this episode also...
Are you reading the beginning again?
No. Also in this episode, Rumpel said, "Oh yeah, Pan took my father." No.
Yeah.
Right.
His father
became
Pan.
Yes.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense how that went down. And I also like that the shadow, who this whole time we thought was Peter Pan's, was not Peter Pan's.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm the only one who inhabits this island."
Yeah, he was actually talking.
Yes. So that was really, really cool.
Well, and he said, "You're the only one who's ever tried to actually live here."
Right.
Their kids are only supposed to come in their dreams.
Right, but you want to live
You're
here.
the first one to ever stay. And so he became Peter Pan, and then he had the hourglass marking.
So I wonder, since obviously there's something dark about this family, if that will go on to Bay. Well, Bay was a criminal. What about Henry? Is Henry going to end up having that, or is it broken by the time it gets to Henry?
I think it was... maybe.
I don't think Henry's really doing anything.
Henry has a lot of
issues.
Snow White...
Issues?
I wasn't going with issues.
Oh, I thought
he does.
Issues.
But he has a lot of goodness in him from the Snow White lineage. You know,
Yeah.
Snow White
From the
and
Charming
David.
family?
Yeah, from the
Charming
Charmings.
family.
So
From Regina.
Yes.
I think that he has that. So he's kind of more balanced.
Yes.
And Bay is ultimately a good guy. He just
Yeah, he
made
is.
some bad decisions because he was angry, just like Emma.
Well, and because he was an orphan and he was hustling and all that kind of stuff, because he wasn't doing that before. And we still don't know...
And he hasn't done it since he's been back and they've been reunited.
Exactly. And we still don't know Bay's story, because, remember, we saw him with the Lost Boys, then he walked out on Rump, and I was assuming, he's going to be a Lost Boy, but no, he isn't, because he has to have left that and ends up later with Hook, and that's when he gets taken by the Lost Boys.
I wonder if Peter Pan knew at the time that Bay was his grandson.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I am 100% sure. Because he knows who Rump is, and Rump went and confronted him, remember? And he said, he says, I want to know, or I want him to choose who he wants to be with, either me or you. So he was taking Bay on purpose. But that's also because he knew, according to the prophecy, that Bay, or that Bay's son would be the truest believer.
But what I'm saying is, when Bay was a child, do you think Peter Pan knew?
Well, yeah, because remember, when he took Bay as a child, they were all dancing out by the fire and everything, and Rump went out there to confront him and ran into him, and he was like, No, that's my grandson. I'm keeping him. No, he didn't say that.
No, he did not say that.
No. But yeah, he knew. He knew who Bay was that whole time.
Baywatch.
Mm-hmm.
He knew about Baywatch, and that's why they have those slow motion shots of him running on the beach in a red swimsuit.
Right.
Because it's Baywatch.
No one.
You got the joke.
Well, I made the joke.
And Molly's avoiding the joke.
All right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Excellent. Most people don't.
Okay, that's good. Then why are you putting on a podcast?
Yeah. So his dad left him with 2 women who were spinners.
Yes. That's where he learned the spinning game.
Yeah. And
I was freaked out about them for the beginning. They're like, oh, hi.
Did they kind of remind you of the 2 ants in the Peach, James and the Giant Peach?
James and the Giant Peach. No. I could see that.
Not their looks, but did you think that maybe they would end up being like them?
No, they were like, oh, you would be an excellent spinner and stuff. They were nice.
They were nice.
They were teaching spin class, weren't they?
Yeah, but in the beginning they were kind of creepy, like, hi. And they were finishing, like, one person would say a word, then the next, then the next.
Were they kind of like those witches, where they share the eye and then they finish their sentences and things? Give me the eye, I want to say it. No. I tried.
Oh, no.
I like those witches.
I like them, too.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So, where do you want to go with this?
Well, so this seems the sewer.
You're going in order.
No.
Okay.
No, I just want to talk about these women.
Okay.
But they give Rumpel a magic bean.
Yes.
And they're telling him,
this your father bean is never going. Fruit.
Your father's never going to function. He's never going to be what you need him to be.
Right.
You take this bean and you can go have a new life in another world, but not with him. But they said he's at a bar right now. Guaranteed. He's not where he said he is. He's not looking for work. So Rumpelstiltskin goes there, finds his dad drunk playing cards. And
his dad says, hey, where you been?
And he shows his dad his magic bean.
Fun.
And the dad wants to sell it. He says, you know how much money we could get for that bean? And so it's just really upsetting to Rumpel because
his dad's not a good guy.
Yeah, and he's saying we could be together, we could go do this and have a new life, and you're only thinking about yourself and money.
Right.
And so the dad says, I know where we can go. There's a place I used to dream about when I was a kid called Neverland, and it's amazing. So let's go there. So he opens up the portal. And
he says, I don't even know if it's real, but we're going to try. And they jump in the portal, and they're in Neverland.
And then his dad tries to fly, and he can't.
Right.
And then the Rumpelstiltskin conjured up the cake, and they didn't eat it.
Yeah, he goes, think of something. Anything you think of will appear. And he gets cake.
And then he sets it on a log and walks away. Never eats the cake.
What's up with that kid?
What is up with him and Belle leaving their food behind?
Yeah, what is up with that?
You know who'd eat that cake?
Oh, me?
Yeah, the girl with 2 thumbs sitting next to me.
Yep.
That's you.
And
Yeah.
The girl with 1 thumb.
Okay. I have 1 thumb.
Freak!
Because I'm holding the cake with the other hand.
Yeah. No, because you're eating the cake so fast you ate your own thumb off. Weird.
No, because you're holding your notes.
Yeah.
For the show.
So,
yeah.
The shadow's following them.
Yeah.
And then his dad decides to climb up. He says, we have to get pixie dust, then we'll be able to fly. We have to go up to the top of the pine tree, and Rumpel won't go because he's scared. And so his dad...
he also says, I really don't want to fly.
No.
He said, you want to fly.
Yeah.
I don't.
And so his dad climbs up the tree, and when he reaches out and he gets the pixie dust, and he throws it at himself, and it doesn't really seem to have an effect. And then the shadow comes, and talks to him.
Well, he says, "Why isn't it working?
Why isn't it working, Mal?
Because he doesn't belong. He's an adult."
Right. When he says you have to believe, but he also says you don't belong here.
So his
dad really did believe.
Right. Then we see a shoe fall, and we should say the other shoe drops.
I thought that was a hat.
No, that was a shoe. That's why people make fun of you in public. You're wearing a shoe on your head.
Oh, man.
Or a hat on your foot.
Oh, man.
Hey, hat foot.
Oh, man. You're hat foot.
Hat foot. So poor Rump is sitting there, and the shoe falls, and then he's like, no, Papa!
Yeah, he actually
And then the Papa shows up.
I thought it was a trick. I thought it was Peter Pan disguising himself. I didn't realize
he was. I did too.
Yeah, me too.
I thought it was like a shapeshifter who came in.
I thought it was the shadow when he pretended to be Belle.
Yes. I thought so too because of the way he was talking, but no. He was just trying to trick Rump.
And he says they can't stay. He can't stay and they can't leave together.
Right.
And then he gives him over to the shadow because he wants to be young. And he can't do it.
Why do you think the shadow's so into getting kids? What's up with that?
It's really disturbing.
Yeah, that shadow's got some issues.
And
not like Henry's issues.
That was a joke. So Rumpelstiltskin went back to the ladies.
Ladies!
And he didn't have his doll anymore because he left it in Neverland, which is why Pan gave it back to him.
Right. And he knew immediately, like, oh, you're strumming those heartstrings, Pan.
And he told them that his dad is gone.
You're strumming my pain with your finger.
And they said, we'll make you a new doll. And he said, no, Peter Pan is gone forever. And we realized that's
not true.
And then Peter says to him later, I kept the name. What do you mean I didn't think of you? I took that name.
Right. Yeah, I did not, for 1 minute, in that whole scene where Rump and Peter are having their confrontation with the Pandora box, and Peter saying, you can stay here with me, and this is all I've ever wanted. I didn't buy any of that. Not 1 second of it. And I'm glad Rumpelstiltskin didn't either.
No. And
the whole time I'm going, nope, he's full of it.
And Rumpel kept trying to say, I'm better than you, and he said, no, I traded you for youth, and you traded balefire for power.
Right.
And he said, we're the same.
Right.
And Rumpelstiltskin didn't like hearing that. But he says, Rumpel says, I'm gonna make a fresh start, just not with you.
Right.
And it turned out, what happened with the Pandora's box?
He took it. He had the Pandora's box in his hand. He said, remember, you can have anything if you think about it. And he had it.
So Rumpel's was fake.
So, yeah. Peter thought about having the real Pandora's box in his hand and a fake one in Rumpelstiltskin's hand. That's how he did it. So then he hit the thing to open the box, and what happened?
And Rumpelstiltskin got sucked in.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this
is he gone? Is that it?
No.
How are they going to get him out of there?
Well, first they have to realize he's in there. But I was surprised that
they will when he goes,
none of the team noticed he was gone, because he should have been there ahead of them.
Well, they might have noticed, but there was just so much going on, and they finally got to Henry. They might have known something was up, but what are they going to do?
I didn't see anybody look around for him or say, where's Rumpel? Or anything like that. Why wouldn't he have gotten to Henry?
Yeah, before
this point.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. But
they should have not seen Pan and seen Rumpel there with Henry.
Right. So, yeah, he trapped Rumpel. So that's what happened there. Do you want to talk about the very end, what happened?
Well, I want to talk about one scene.
Yeah, we should go back and talk about some other scenes. Because the ending is a huge cliffhanger. Yeah.
Well, Emma, the scene is Emma's asking Hook how David can get out of Neverland. And Rumpel says, I know how, because I healed.
Right.
And he said, well, if we can get back to Storybrooke, I can make an elixir. And so they decide, well, we could bring enough water for him to drink to keep him healthy until Rumpel can make this elixir.
Right, so he can have the magic coursing through him while Rumpel fills it.
Which is another reason why I thought it was weird that they didn't even look around for him. They didn't seem concerned he wasn't there. He's their ticket.
Yeah, I don't know.
For freedom. So,
I don't know.
So Bay intervenes.
Maybe the director's cut has him look around for 10 minutes and they look under things and in skull heads.
Bay intervenes in their dealings, and because he says, sure, I'll do that for David but I want something in return. And Bay says, no strings. You're going to do it because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. And Rump is not real happy about it, but he agrees because he really is trying to do the right thing.
Well, and he knows that when he gets back there, Belle's going to be watching too.
Right.
And if Bay says, no, this is something they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because
he's got a lot at stake. He wants Belle.
Yeah.
And he wants to have his son. And now his grandson is important to him.
Right.
Even though he keeps saying he's his undoing. I think we've seen his undoing. I think that he is his undoing in that
he's
it's
now
breaking
going to be
the
human.
dark one.
He's not going to be dark. So
the light one.
The light one.
Is that what they're
the
call
opposite.
her?
So they go in and they find Emma walks into the protection spell and gets thrown back.
Yes.
Regina tries to use fire.
What is it with her? Those fireballs.
She loves fireballs.
Like there's
you know what? If I could do fireballs,
all of them with a sword, and then Regina holding a fireball.
Would you do fireballs if you could?
I would throw them right at the scarecrow. Absolutely.
I would do cakes.
Cakes.
You would just throw cake at people?
Yeah. No, I would throw...
Molly, you threw cake at the barrier. What
I would
is that
throw...
We can lick it.
I would throw...
It would bounce back and go right in your mouth. That's what you'd be thinking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yum.
What would you throw?
At people.
You...
At bad people?
Yes! Instead of cakes.
If I couldn't, I would throw a poo pie.
Well... You know what? That might be very effective. Although, imagine if Regina threw a poo pie at that thing. The barrier.
Was it flaming?
It would have
just
all over the place.
Pie.
They would have gotten poo flung right back at them if she threw it at that protection
That's
spell.
right. So that's probably not the best choice.
All right. So
I would throw that at people.
Okay, well that's good to know.
No,
so another time Regina used magic that was cracking me up. They were getting to the camp where the Lost Boys were.
Yes.
Trying to find Henry.
And Rumpel said, is it okay if I use magic on these boys? Balefire said no. And then Regina says, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Now remember, what was that spell again?
No. She says, I'll do it. Because Rumpelstiltskin knew that no one would question her doing it. But, so she says, I'll do it. And Rumpel says, do you remember the spell? And she was very offended.
Right.
She was implying that she
wasn't as good as him, yeah. And then she knocks out all the Lost Boys that are there, but no Pan.
But they find Wendy in the cage.
Henry. Yeah, then they hear the noise in the woods and they go off and it's Wendy's in the cage.
And Bay recognizes
and she's lying.
Yeah, she
was lying, but she said why. Do you remember?
Because Pan was controlling John and Michael.
Right. She was trying to protect John and Michael. And then they told her that John and Michael were back in Storybrooke and they're the reason that they had the Pandora's box and everything. So
they were helping get Henry back, and so then she cooperated.
So do you think Wendy will go back to Storybrooke with them?
Yes.
So do you think they're all going to leave Neverland? They're just going to leave the Lost Boys there?
Well, but we got to fix Henry first.
Ah, yeah.
Henry gave up his heart.
Wah.
So,
I'm blocking you out for
That's
a
right.
second.
I'm the dark one. Okay,
well, they tell him, she tells everybody Pan is dying, and he needs the heart of the true believer.
Right.
And he'll be immortal, but Henry will die.
Right. Well, yeah, because it's a swap.
Right.
Since Pan is dying, when they swap hearts, Henry will start dying. Now, I thought this was cool, too. They explained the Skull Island, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they said that it appeared when Pan was essentially created there.
Yes.
And that big timepiece in there is all the magic that's keeping him alive. And when that runs out,
he's
dead. So that's where they were having this big confrontation, was right there in front of that big hourglass. There was still magic in it. So I wonder if, Henry at the end was passed out and laying there, but he's not dead yet.
Well,
and can they do something? There's still magic in there.
They could get the heart out of Pan, right?
Yeah, they have to figure out how to get the heart out of Pan.
And then put it back in Henry.
Yes.
And then maybe they could shoot the hourglass. Maybe they could get
I don't think they even need to do that.
Drain out.
I think they just need to get out of there and leave Pan, because Pan can't leave.
Right.
It was the shadow that left. In the stories, Pan left, but in this, we haven't seen Pan
ever
leave Neverland. He can't leave. He never can.
High five me for that one.
Another high five.
So, when they were trying,
hello?
After Rumpel went through the protection spell, and he went to go after Peter Pan, and he took the Pandora's box, Regina and Emma and Bay were still there, and they said, Emma said, what if we could block the moon and then our shadows wouldn't...
Yeah, they were doing the eclipse!
Because then we could all get through
the eclipse.
Then we could all get through the protection spell if our shadows can't be detected.
Yes.
Because Rumpel could get through because he had cut his
doesn't it cast shadows when there's like a fire? Because wasn't there a fire there on Skull Island?
Probably.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter.
Still have shadows.
They got to use cool magic together, so it didn't matter. So Emma and Regina put their hands up, and then they made the eclipse go across the moon, and then they all just walked through the thing to go sit. And they didn't even save Henry because Henry wouldn't listen to him.
Right.
And he actually ripped his own heart out.
Yes, that
he took his own heart out because of that magic that Pam
I've got
gave
a question.
him. Yes.
What did Pam put in his hand?
Huh?
Oh, he put magic on his hand so he could reach in.
Yeah, so that he could do
Otherwise,
that
if a normal person tried to reach in, you would just hit
So there must be a rule that Pan can't take the true believer's heart. The true believer has to give it willingly, which he did.
Much like the bracelet.
He thought, what bracelet?
On Ariel, she couldn't take the bracelet. If you take the bracelet
someone else has
off,
to take it. Yeah, there's these rules. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Henry did it willingly, and that's how Pan was able to get it. And then we saw him float up, and he was gonna...
He's immortal now.
Yeah, he's immortal. He was flying away. He's gonna cause trouble. Holy cow.
That's bad.
Now, they still have the shadow trapped.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I wonder if they can do something with that.
And they have, if they can find Pandora's box, they'll find Rumpel.
Right.
And then if they could do something for Henry.
I wonder if they'll get close to Pan with Pandora's box, or if they can find Pandora's box. Mm-hmm. And then when they hit it, if Rump will come out and Pan will go in.
That would be ideal, wouldn't it?
It would. It's kind of like Ghostbusters when they throw the thing down and they collect the ghosts. Yeah, that's cool. I love Ghostbusters. I wonder if they'll show up on this show.
Yeah,
who are you going to call?
Let's go watch another one and find out.
Who are you going to call, Mo? All right.
You.
Are you guys done?
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
it's
cool.
Good.
Oh, I can't wait for the next one.
We got to go figure out what's happening with Henry.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, everybody. You can find past episodes of this and all of our podcasts, as well as links to all of our social media at our website, which is
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
Plus, you can also send us an email. We love to get email. Communicate with us. Send us a Twitter. Go on Facebook. Join the Facebook
tweet,
group.
You mean?
Yeah, tweet. I don't care. It's, you know what I mean.
On the Twitter?
Yes, on the Twitter. Our email is southgatemediagroup@gmail.com, and that goes directly to us. So please, send us some email. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know what you think is going to happen in Season 4. I'm telling you, if we get some good email, we might even read a little bit on the show. Be fun, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh.
See? Molly thinks so. That's it. Now let's end this the way every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The end. If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.